Schools reopened in Cameroon on September 9, 2024 amid challenges that might influence the learning and teaching process, or the teaching and learning process. About 7 million children are estimated to go back to primary and secondary schools in the year 2024. And according to the National School Map, these children will be enrolled in 14,000 public schools and about 8,000 private institutions across the country. Our retrospective of today will scan the contours of back to school, not without insisting that school education is an inalienable right of the child that must not be jeopardized in any way, whatever circumstance. Thanks and welcome to Retrospective. I'm KEDJANG Henri Atimbi. From every indication, the school bells will ring on Monday, precisely by 7:30. And so the children have that responsibility to be in school, the parents too, as well as all the stakeholders. But then before we introduce our guest, let's have this.
In this hall at Government High School Jos in Douala, principals of both public and private schools have assembled to develop a roadmap aimed at improving the performance of their institutions for the new academic year. In a stern address, the senior divisional officer for Wuri called on principals to demonstrate diligence at their work, urging them to prioritize excellence and ensure the students achieve better results than in previous years.
The main thing we wanted to point out is to call to our teacher to avoid this year all problems that had compromised good results last year. As a priest, we think that a teacher should consider his mission as a call and do all his best in order to take care of his children.
The meeting comes amid several persistent challenges faced by schools, including a shortage of teachers in some areas, the need to reinforce security measures, and the ongoing transition to new pedagogic methods. The principals also discuss the digitalization process and the growing importance of distance learning, and a lot more. One notable change for the upcoming academic year is the introduction of the new identification numbers for students, a move aimed at streamlining administrative processes and improving overall efficiency in school management.
I'm very optimistic with the regard of the higher mobilization we have observed.
Together with the divisional delegation for secondary education for Wuri, the principals have developed strategies to tackle these issues, all with a shared goal of significantly boosting students' performance this year. The Cameroonian education system is set to implement several measures for the upcoming academic year, with one of the most significant being the introduction of a unique student identification number in secondary education. This new system, though intended to enhance the management of student records and streamline administrative processes, has left many parents feeling anxious and overwhelmed as the first day of school draws near.
on permet de circoncire déjà les effectifs dans les salles de classe et mieux contrôler les chefs d'établissement.
The Ministry of Secondary Education has recognized the need for clarity regarding this new system. The unique identification number designed to follow each student throughout their educational journey is intended to simplify tracking and administration. However, the ministry acknowledges that both educators and parents require more guidance to adapt to this change effectively.
Today, we are going to help everybody, especially those who are directly involved in that project, to follow up and see how they can help their students and the parents to integrate that process. I mean, the unique identifier for the students.
In response, an educational sectoral meeting was convened in Douala, September 3, featuring a detailed review of these and other educational innovations. The meeting was attended by officials from the Ministry of Secondary Education, including the Inspector General of Education, who took the opportunity to thoroughly explain the new measures aiming to equip teachers with the necessary tools and provide clear guidance to parents.
To be a student, you must have your matricule. Without that matricule, you cannot do anything in the secondary education today.
As parents grapple with these new requirements, the ministry is urging patience and cooperation. They emphasize it ultimately aims to enhance the educational experience for both students and educators across the country.
Thank you very much, Maureen D, and welcome back to News Retrospective. Pastor Da is an educationist, school administrator with MENEMO Bilingual College in Douala, Cameroon. Thanks and welcome to join me, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again on a platform where we talk freely, we talk freely, we talk freely.
And of course,
thank you for inviting me.
And of course, analyzing the contours of news-making events during the week.
Of course, yes.
Pastor Nda, the long-awaited date is already around. Can we say there is no need for procrastination?
Pushing it forward does not make sense. The day is around, and we even think it is overdue. When the minister came up with a decision on increasing 1 week, well, some of us were not happy, but she is the boss. All right, now the day is around, and it's time for us, all of us. You just saw the delegate, you just watched the delegate talking upon the new methods, on the new, in fact, the total rehearsal of the educational apparatus. Everybody on deck, the children, the parents, the teachers, you media houses, everybody is on deck on Monday, come Monday. And I think we are ready. I hope you are ready.
Yeah, we are ready because we have already deployed our arsenals across the country to cover the first day in school, second day, third, right up to maybe the first 2 weeks in school.
I know that whenever something is new, people tend to doubt it and people tend to be scared. It is not necessarily true that whatever is new is not good. We have to embrace all the new methods. You hear about this unique identification, which is something new for students, it's something new for all of us. But I know a system that has a tracking possibility which can only be the best, in the sense that we should be able to know where you started, we should be able to know where you are now, and if tomorrow there's need, we should know where you are.
And where you are going to.
Of course, yes. So I think it is laudable. I don't know anything about it, but we are getting into it, and like any other thing that is new, we will discover how good it is. Certainly, there will be some little inconveniences, there will be some little hesitations at the beginning, but I think given time, it will go.
Now, let me just give you these statistics across the world. Maybe in Europe and the Americas, of course, with Asia, you have 93% of schools that are already having the unique identification. And Cameroon is amongst them because that is a good stride amongst the sub-Saharan African countries.
Yes.
It is just less than 22% of institutions that have unique identification for students. So it already tells you that Cameroon is on the pathway to modernity.
Of course. Let us start by saying that Cameroon is on the pathway. The issue of what's happening in Europe, what's happening in Asia, is going to be a little different with us in Africa, because it is about internet. It is about having electricity throughout. So the issue of infrastructure may bring in a challenge, but we are on a progression. Development is about progress, day to day, step by step. So we can't just get there today. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you.
But I personally believe that we will get there with time.
Okay, from every indication we observed from that report by Maureen that what they are already charting, the way forward is like talking about education for sustainable development. I would like us to come back to that because apparently during our last encounter, we did not dissect that aspect sufficiently. And so I want to, because the discussions that they had during the sectoral meeting falls within the ambit of education for sustainable development. Could we just probably look at what it entails for a nation?
All right. Yes, I think it is important that we talk about it. And like you are aware, education for sustainable development is about the issue of, it's a population problem. Let me put it this way. It's a population problem. It's an increasing population problem linked to fixed natural resources. Let me start from the top. In the 17th century, this social scientist, Thomas Malthus, came out with that essay on population, that population is increasing at a geometric rate, and agricultural production is increasing at an arithmetic rate. It means population is flying, and food production
is reducing.
It's not
reducing, but it's slow.
And that at one time there is going to be a crisis. Now, how do we produce food? We produce food by tampering with the nature, by tampering with the forest. We need to clear the forest. We need to have farms. Before we clear the forest, we need roads. We need mining to make the money. It means at one time we are destroying nature in order to improve our well-being. Now, if we have to destroy nature and improve our well-being, it is going to be counterproductive if we don't try to strike a balance. That development must go on. Road construction must go on. Agriculture must go on. But the biodiversity must still remain in place. How do we do this? We have to get into critical thinking. How do we continue the development of plantations in order to meet up with population increase? Mr. KEDJANG, you are aware that about 30 years back, the population of Cameroon was about 7 million.
That's correct.
Yes. Today we are talking about 20. I'm sure if we take the census today, we should be talking about 30. This is not Cameroon alone. We knew, when I was in primary school, we knew Nigeria was about 50-something million.
That's correct.
But today,
there are 232 million.
Yeah, we keep saying 232 million, but the growth is continuing. If you take a census in Nigeria, I'm sure it will be something far above that. Now, look at it. The population growth, we are not going to stop population by killing people. education, as we say, is going to play a crucial role in it. The same education is going to play a crucial role in the managing of the resources we are talking about, so that we strike a balance. That in trying to improve man's welfare should not have a counter result in destroying man. There is a lot. Mr. KEDJANG, are you aware that we have only one earth?
Yes, there is. That is why
We have only one earth.
scientists have been researching maybe humans could live in Mars.
They are still dreaming. Let us be realistic that we have only one earth. We don't have a second earth. Population is increasing. The size of the earth is not increasing. It's not rocket science to say that at one point we will reach a cracking point that population will outweigh food production and human beings will need to feed on human beings. We need to strike a balance. Education will educate us. Education will take me to a point where I think I should control my birth. We should control the way we manage our forests, the way we manage our water resources, the way we manage. So, when in the school system, our authorities bring in this aspect of tracking students, it is very important. You may discover a student that 5 years ago in one school was very brilliant. 10 years later, these students will no more hear about the students. We go into the system, we go into the database, and we relocate the student and see what went wrong. This is where I see the tracking so important. This is where I see education being the motto, being the engine of sustainable development. I want you to examine this with me, that up to now, as we speak, many of us view education as a quest for knowledge. For what?
That is how it was. That was the apprehension.
Yes, it is up to now. Many are
just
still
let me
into
just
it.
be educated.
Yes, I want to get knowledge.
And for what?
Yes.
Now that is what we are looking for.
Good. I want to get knowledge that is crowned by a certificate that actually shows that this is my level. But what is it for? To get a job, work, earn a salary, help my family, help myself, and be somebody good. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it comes to us living as a society, as a community, because a nation, the nation goes from the idea of a community, a small community, a family.
A microcosm.
Of course, yes. Education, we should review our vision of education and seize it from being the quest for selfish gain for me and my family alone. This selfishness has to stop. That's why Education for Sustainable Development wants us to revisit this definition of education in our head, in our minds, and come and see that, and see beyond that. Education for sustainable development wants you, Mr. KEDJANG, wants me to see education as getting the education, yes, help myself, yes, but above all, help the community. The community that God used to raise me. I should bring my knowledge back. My children schooled in Douala. Wherever they are, they started it here. They should gather that education and bring it here to help us manage the environment. Without which, there is danger, there is war, there is trouble, there's every kind of malaise that you want to think about coming. It's not somebody who is coming to fight us. It's not Nigeria that's coming to attack Cameroon. Once the malaise is in place, everybody will feel uncomfortable. When we get to this definition, that is, my community is waiting for me to bring this knowledge, we will be able to sit here, Mr. KEDJANG, and assess the environment by ourselves. Children will do an assessment, women will do an assessment, parents will do, pastors, the police, everybody will do an assessment to say that things are not going. If there's flooding, what do we do? A local problem, we look for local solution, local ideas, before we begin to dream that somebody will come and help us.
Now, let me come there. MENEMO Bilingual College is the first pilot center chosen by a German non-governmental organization,
Yes, ASA.
When it comes to sustainable education for sustainable development. Now, could you just expatiate on that? Why were you choosing? What makes that institution different from the others to become the pilot institution, or it was chose a ballot, as we call it?
To the best of my knowledge, we tabled an application like others tabled. We weren't the only school. There were so many schools involved. But I want to say that about choice, let me first of all thank God. It was the grace of God that, because I know that whatever man's effort is, God remains the teacher that marks the work. So the favor of God made MENEMO Bilingual College to be chosen. But looking at the MENEMO itself, looking at the history, I think MENEMO has something to show. The results have been decent, consistently. The campus is clean. The campus
is accommodating. The campus, the school is equipped.
Are you talking about internet? Are you talking about decent classrooms? Are you talking about projectors? Are you talking about video cameras? Are you talking about surveillance cameras? The school is ready. Are you talking about a good laboratory? What is lacking? Nothing is lacking. And so with all these qualities put together, we are also on internet. With all this quality put together, I think it was only normal that MENEMO Bilingual College catch the eye of this German NGO that were looking for somebody to accommodate the program. And so we find ourselves as the pilot. Let me summarize. Our history is good in terms of results. That means they are looking for somebody who is excellent. An excellent idea should go to an excellent place. This is what I can tell you about ourselves being chosen as a pilot school. Definitely, you want to know more about what it means piloting. And I will say that a pilot is a driver. A pilot pilots the aircraft. And so, after they have downloaded the knowledge onto us who? Us, MBC teachers, MBC students, we are not going to sit on it. We are going to help others, because it is education for sustainable development is something that not only Douala needs, not only Boko neighborhood needs, the whole nation, in fact Africa, the whole world needs it. Mr. KEDJANG, by the time I saw the excitement, as our collaborators, as these volunteers from Germany, as they were expatiating on this program, I saw the anxiety. I saw students really happy. It means the education for sustainable development wakes us up to know that the city belongs to us. The earth belongs to us. As a nation, as Africa, as the world, it belongs to us. It's up to us, Mr. KEDJANG, to protect it. How will you inherit the earth, pure, clean, and you hand it to the future generations, destroy it? So with this program, I saw my students, for example, for the first time, everybody excited that during the lesson, they said I was the mayor. This one said, they said I was the mayor. This other one said, they said I was the police. What does it mean? When we discover that Cameroon belongs to us, Douala belongs to us, you and I, Mr. KEDJANG, and that is up to us to fix it or to let it be destroyed, we will stand, we will fix it. You will see the people who pass around the market, they say dustbin, they prefer to throw rubbish on the ground. You will stand there and rebuke them. You will not say, wait, I'm not the mayor. No, you will police that place. So, every citizen becomes the mayor. I'm talking about good citizens. Every good citizen will work as a police. Not that you carry uniform. If you see something wrong, you will rush to the police. You will tell them. It will help them. Why do you think you hear reports an incident happened? Somewhere there was no policeman there, but after 2 days they say they arrested the people. The citizens collaborate.
And that is education for sustainable
development. It is still
development.
education for sustainable development. I have to bring information to you. This is media house. There may be something that has escaped your mind. I have to bring it to you. Others have to bring it to you. This is how we will make our city. This is how we will make our world. This is how we will make our country better. There's a lot happening in the forest. I overheard the minister, was it last year, talking about when you cut down one tree, you need to plant how many?
4.
If I see you cut a tree and you don't plant, I will report you, Mr. KEDJANG. I will not say I am not working with the Ministry of
Forestry and Wildlife.
No, I won't. I will report you. And this is education for sustainable development, meaning that development should go on, but it should not destroy life. It should not destroy our very essence. People are beginning to talk about mass. We should fix the earth first.
Before talking about mass.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be coming back to you. Just time for us to say that, well, it's not been very easy with the parents to try to convince the children, put them in the mood of back to school. Many of them, after having stayed home for close to 3 months, they became used to their routine.
Addicted to other things. So parents are strategizing to see how these children can go back to school. So too, in the southwest region of the country that has been resting for some time, our chief correspondent, Ines Ondwambala, takes the temperature. Let's get this report.
After a 3-month break from school, the bells are ringing, signaling the start of a new academic year in just 5 days. Meanwhile, school children are still immersed in their holiday routine. For now, we are using words to bring them out of the holiday mood. I have not taken strict measures yet. I try to tell them that school will soon resume and that they have to stop watching TV. They are trying to understand and keep asking questions. Parents say they are strategizing to switch their kids from vacation to school mode.
I'm already getting the kids ready for school as I have them sleep a little bit earlier than usual. They had the habit of sleeping at about midnight most days because they watch TV all day. But so I get them to sleep a little bit earlier, 9 p.m. latest. I try to wake them up a little bit earlier as well, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. They have the habit of playing with their tablets all day. So I try to take it from them a number of hours during the day so that they can do revisions.
Some parents will wait until Monday to apply stricter measures on both little school children and older ones alike.
Ils savent déjà que à partir de lundi là, ça va aller très vite parce que je vais venir chaque matin, j'ouvre d'abord la porte. Whoop!
However, bad habits are proving hard to break in kids, and the task of turning them around is daunting at this time of the year. Parents have expressed the need to psychologically prepare their school children before school resumes on September 9.
Barely few days for school resumption in Cameroon, in the southwest region, preparation on slow pace in markets, bookshops in Boya. No one will walk up the camera. Inhabitants of Boya refuse to be exposed on TV. At Sopo markets, school items have been made available by traders, but very few clients are paying attention to books, readers, bags, uniforms, just to name these few. The recent attacks of Bitwingi and Mai 16 have created panics as separatist fighters on social medias have announced a 2-week lockdown as from September 9, 2024. In some schools, cleanup campaigns are ongoing to give the school compound a befitting look. In Limbe, life is going on smoothly. Parents are doing last-minute preparations for back to school. Some are complaining for financial hardship.
As parents, to reduce our costs.
The government, through promotional sales of basic commodities and school items, has made life easy for parents in Limbe. Extrait, il y a le représentant de la délégation là, qui parle en anglais en interview.
Of textbooks, school materials and products of basic necessity is sold at a very cheap price to help the parents. In such a way that they will be able to send their children to school without any difficulty.
The wish of the population of the Southwest region is for school to fully resume in the English-speaking part of Cameroon plagued by the security crisis.
Thanks very much, Ines Daniel Ondwabala, for that report, and of course to Cynthia Lati. And like we said, education is a right, or the child's right to education is a universal human right, an inalienable right that must not be jeopardized. Pastor Onda, you followed those reports.
Yes.
Let us begin with the fact that, well, it's been a pretty long time for the children at home, and they become so addicted with their routine activities, television, watching, playing football, hawking in the markets.
Yeah.
I mean, for some and others were in the farms, it's not easy now to start inculcating. Remember, during the COVID-19, these children stayed home for 5 months, some I think for 6. So at one point, it was not easy to cut back.
It will not be easy, because children easily learn something new.
And they easily forget.
Yeah, and they easily forget whatever was there. They easily learn something new, especially things that are negative. But one thing that struck my mind on that report was the report coming from the Southwest region. And I think a report coming from the Southwest region is also reflecting a report from the Northwest region.
That's true.
I don't need to listen to it.
It is a reflection of that.
I want to say something here. The children's right to education is not something that should be tampered with. It should not be compromised. It is not negotiable. And specifically in Africa, the girl child's right to education, we must do all. History will hold us responsible for our children not going to school. I want to say that life, you take it from the Bible, you take it from philosophy, whatever science you take it from, that it is the same. Life is not about waiting for the storm to be over. There will always be a storm. Life is about grappling with the storm and making and getting your life out of the storm. The Bible teaches us that we should not give up. We should not wait for peacetime. We should not say, there is trouble. It's true. There's a risk when we talk about war, when we talk about armed conflict. And somehow life is better than education. But it is not all about that. There are other ways of looking at it. We must make sure that this non-negotiable right must be fulfilled for our children. The way we do it, I don't know how it will be done, but it must be done. if you look at this bird, they call the eagle. When there is a tornado, other birds hide. They hide in the trees. That is when the eagle comes out to hunt. And when the eagle comes out to hunt, the wind, the storm exposes the birds that are hiding. They are hiding their heads. This is how the eagle picks them easily. They don't struggle, they don't fight, and the eagle too will not struggle. What am I saying? Whether we like it or not, life is full of challenges. Jesus said, if you come to me, I give you peace. But in the world there will be trouble. There is always going to be trouble. This trouble is not going to be everlasting. We should know it. And we should get up to this challenge. Those who are preaching peace should continue to preach peace. Those who are making negotiations should continue to make negotiations. And those who have the responsibility of the child, of education, should stand firm. It is true, the children have spent time playing. There is a lot to do. Don't only buy books. Don't only go and pay school fees. Entice them. Their children will be motivated if you buy them a bicycle. If you tell a child that if you go to school, in fact, by the time you come out with this or that position, this is your bicycle. Don't say that I will buy. Buy the bicycle and stand it there. This child will run to school. I'm just giving one idea amongst millions of ideas that we can use to gather
as an appetizer to the
back
children.
To school. We should stop waiting for the storm to be over. There is storm everywhere. It just happened that our own storm is war. Every place on earth where there are human beings, there is a storm. It may not be armed conflict.
It may be floods,
it may
natural
be floods,
disaster, hunger,
it may
famine,
be hunger, and everything. And
disease.
Was still, Mr. KEDJANG. We should not hear parents saying that there is no money to send the children to school. There is no, because we never lack money to drink beer. As a Cameroonian, do you agree with me?
I agree with you.
We never lack money to drink beer. Mr. KEDJANG, if you decide to sacrifice beer for 1 year, you drop 1,000 francs into a small corner every day, you have 365,000 francs at the end of the year.
Simple.
Depending on the level of the children, that can send 5 children to school, that can send 4, that can send 3. I'm just talking about beer. Therefore, poverty is not the lack of money. Get me right. Poverty is not the lack of money. Poverty is a state of mind where you give up. I was born poor. My parents were born poor. My neighbor is rich. He's rich because he's lucky. No. He's rich because he stole money. This is truth. This is a lot that is being said by those who don't want to organize themselves. Mr. KEDJANG, in 2010, did you not know that there will be school in September 2024? Did you not know?
We all knew. We know that there will be school in,
How is it a surprise?
In 2035.
How is it a surprise? Is it an accident? Did the minister just landed? Did the minister just parachuted the program of education onto us? No, we know it. We know it. We knew it. But we had put our priorities elsewhere. I believe somebody is watching this program. And I want to say that the best retirement for you, Mr. KEDJANG, the best retirement for anybody is our children. Invest in them. Trust God. Trust the Lord who gave you these children. Invest in them. Build them. Give them knowledge that they will come back to sustain you. Are we not talking about education for sustainable development?
I was following a video wherein one young girl with an American Airlines, she's a pilot, and for the first time, she had to transport her parents. Incidentally, it was a coincidence ever since she's been flying in the air. And on that day, the parents did not even know that she was the one on board at the cockpit.
Okay.
And that caused a stalemate when she announced that she's transporting 2 special guests on our flight, on our jet, and the whole jet was wondering to see the 2 special guests. And they thought maybe she was transporting some heads of state or whatever, or one famous star, and to announce that those 2 special guests sitting there are my parents, and I'm flying them for the first time. I've never known what a privilege. I'm just saying this to corroborate with what you're saying.
Of course, yes. The best retirement preparation. Please, there should be no misunderstanding. The national social welfare is there about money. But the best retirement preparation is the human beings you can raise. Because money is not the end of the story. If at your retirement, the National Social Insurance Fund, they take money and they stand outside and they throw it to you without us, your children, around you, how do you enjoy that money? This is the time. For those who have made that mistake before, this is the time to correct the error.
By investing in the children.
Invest in the children. Decree a word on your children every morning. Project on them that they are ministers, they are directors, they are coming out and they'll be well-to-do. And God will surely hear your voice.
Now, let us look at the school environment. You know, we had some very disturbing reports of drugs in schools, on campuses, children with weapons, light weapons like knives, razor blades, and so on and so forth. How should we look at the environment such that these issues should not come back?
Yes. I'm happy this question has come up. I will take it from an angle that may surprise you. While we do a physical protection, maybe checking people at the entrance, they should not enter with weapons, try to talk to the students, we, parents, should know. And I would like the minister to take note of what I'm saying. Parents, the children you see, they are a reflection of their parent.
It could be these environments they grow around. Some
Leave
children
the environment alone.
Be influenced by the environment.
It's true. Environment has a role. But parents carry the bulk of the weight. Children are a reflection of their parents. Some of us were wayward. Some of us are wayward. Some of us continue to be wayward. The Bible says, when you look at the youth, they entrust their muscles. They believe they are strong. That's why you see thieves, they will steal from you and they will run. They are trusting their energy. Parents who are wayward do not have the energy to run. They use their heads. A lot of the youth, you see, when the police catch them, you see they are 18, 19, 20, 23. You hardly see people above 30. You see their main collaborators are people of 30, 40. Tell me how you will have a hand in the crime rate that is going on in the country, and you expect your children to be good children, even though they have never seen you, even though you pretend and you behave as if you are not into any whimsical issues. But life is essentially spiritual. The spirits that drive your life, the spirits that drive your children. It's a fact. Therefore, drug abuse. Let me tell you an incident that happened in my school 4 years ago. A student was reported to have come to school with a bottle of whiskey
in the bag.
In his bag. And when he invited the other students to join him drink, the other students came and reported. We called the parents, we called all the parents, including those who were being invited to drink. They sat down. And when I was about to sign the paper for that child's dismissal, that child said, Papa, speak now. He called his father to speak. Papa, speak now. They want to dismiss me. Talk. What is he talking about? The child said it, that this bottle, this whiskey bottle was given to me by my father. Here he is. I'm talking light. I'm not saying that I heard from somebody. It was in front of me. The reports are still there. What can you say?
The father gave to keep in the cupboard or to...
Gave it to him to enjoy himself. That you are a man. So, while we in schools, while the police is fighting the drugs, the parents should sit up. The parents should sit up. A crusade. We need a crusade in this. I don't know how the minister will go about this, but something should be done. That the parents also should be fished out. The churches are there, they don't come.
But that child finally dismissed because the child found himself guilty of an offense perpetrated by the parents.
Mr. KEDJANG, there are things we cannot tolerate, unfortunately. Bringing a bottle of whiskey to school is challenging the administration. It's actually stampeding the administration. We cannot let it be. For the sake of the other children, we don't hate any child, do we? No, we want them, we love them. But are you going to allow one grain to spoil the others? I think the answer is obvious.
No, it cannot happen. Now, there is this problem of curriculum change, adaptation. Would it be able to
change
fit
of books,
change of books, and so would it be able to fit into the context of education for sustainable development?
Of course. Okay, that is important that we clarify. Education for sustainable development is not something that comes to interfere with the curriculum. It doesn't. It's something aside. It's just like you learn mathematics, you learn physics in the classroom, and you apply it in engineering. I don't know whether you get me.
I'm trying to get
you. Learn the principles, the pulley system, it works, the system is dynamics, equilibrium of forces. You go into mathematics, if you go into statistics, you learn average, you learn the mode, you learn the standard deviation. This is the standard. How far is my hand to the right, or how far is my hand to the left? We learn this in class. But when we go out of class, engineers will apply it when they meet a topography that is not friendly. They will have to use this angle of deviation to calculate the deviation from the main line. So I'm saying that education for sustainable development is the application of the knowledge we have acquired to save the environment. It does not come to replace the knowledge acquisition. This is the point. Be educated, but your education is reorientated towards saving your planet. So it does not interfere. It's something that has to be done apart. Are you getting it? That is why we choose the holiday period. And maybe early September. It does not have to interfere with the program. The program of the GCE is standard. So education for sustainable development, maybe in future it will enter. But it is not something that comes maybe to compete, no. And you mentioned something about change of books, and yes.
That's true.
I want to throw away that the change of books frustrate parents who would have loved their children to continue with this.
And then to hand the books down to those who will be coming behind.
Yes. But I think the minister is only being just.
It had to last for a number of years. Yes.
I don't know whether there's a law for that, but
there is.
I just think that the minister was just simply being just. How? There are so many books in the market. One group of authors should not be feeding fat, and the others are dying.
That is what I heard from. I heard from someone. I heard from someone from some publishers too.
Good. So I think when we rotate,
those are sharing the market.
Yes, maybe in future the books will come back, but allow other people to smile. They didn't commit a crime by being educated by writing books that can help us. It is also true that sometimes we change books like this
because of the standard, the quality. Maybe I think that is what the book commission looks at.
Now, if we are changing a book because the quality was not good, we will be saying that last time we made a mistake.
Quality at all, quality of writing, the quality of material in the book.
Okay.
The quality of knowledge in the book, the standard is not there. Or
yes.
That's why they send for revision.
I agree. I want to agree, but I still want to maintain the fact that if we change a book because it has taken some time in the curriculum, it is good. But if we are changing a book that it is below standard, we would be saying that we made a mistake last time.
To put the book in the curriculum.
So I believe that, I don't know for what reasons, but I believe, and this is what I'm saying here, that it's only just that your book has been on the book list for some years. Let my own too be.
For a number of years. Thanks very much. We'll be coming back to you to conclude on our program. Now let's get this temperature in the book market, where we have second-hand books that are probably dying out because, well, they are no more in the curriculum like we were talking about. Let's get these reports. We will come back.
This tall boy hangs a backpack amongst the school supplies exhibited here as he and his manager and co-workers wait for customers. Though it is only 3 days to school resumption, parents are barely showing up to buy school needs.
People look like they are not concerned by the beginning of the school years.
Across school supply shops here in the economic capital, the situation is similar.
Comme vous le voyez vous-même, vous vous rendez compte que ça fait quelque temps vous êtes devant ma structure et puis il n'y a personne, il n'y a pas d'embouteillage, il n'y a pas un seul parent qui se présente ne serait-ce que pour demander un crayon.
I would just say that back to school is very timid, very. There's no parent. If you like say the parent say they don't change date of back to school.
The low demands is blamed on schools for late availability of school needs.
The reality is every year we have a problem with the price with school and the document book change every year. Many parents wait that moment to take a position to buy the document which concerns school.
The challenging economic situation of the country has further complicated things for low-income earners.
You know, the country is like we are in stagnation because nothing is moving. Some parents are telling us that they don't have money.
Vendors of school manuals have expressed optimism that parents will show up in the days ahead and sales will surge. Along road pavements in the economic capital, Douala, stacks of second-hand textbooks are on sale. The old business during this back-to-school period, vendors decry, is on a decline with the changes observed in the programmed textbook for the 2024-2025 academic year.
The government have changed all the books from 1 to 5, from CCIMA to troisième.
Nous détruisons notre investissement.
Our investment is ruined when you buy textbooks for 1 million, hoping to gain 200,000 francs. At the end, you lost both time and the 1 million you have invested. This government surprises us.
Tout ça, c'est le gouvernement qui nous surprend.
C'est pas normal, mon ami. Je vous dis que j'ai le livre de plus de 2 millions de francs dessus.
The vendors fear that they may be forced on a last resort to give out the unsold textbook as a primary product at a meager cost.
Quand les Chinois viennent me voir, qui va acheter le livre déjà hors programme, ils achètent à 50 francs le kilo. Et les Chinois prennent ça pour aller faire le papier hygiénique.
Seeking for palpable solutions, the businessmen have turned to collaborating with bookshops in the area. We try to work with bookshops so that we don't feel the damages of the changes in the program. We take new books and resell and make a profit that goes from 5 to 7% from the sale of a book. Other strategies involved juggling second-hand textbook business with other jobs to survive in the economically challenging times.
After selling books, I have my bike. I came here and on the morning time, and at 2 o'clock like this, I go and look for another thing with motor.
Despite their best efforts, the vendors remain uncertain. As long as the changes to the textbook program persist, they fear their once reliable business could soon be a thing of the past.
It all started quietly last December 2023 about who is to continue steering the affairs of the Cameroon Party for National Reconciliation (PCRN). The internal wrangling between the founding father, Robert Kona, and National President Cabral Libi left the House to the Minister of Territorial Administration last March, and that is how the rift widened, each expelling the other and claiming leadership backed by reasons and complaints. Many watched as the party preaching reconciliation cannot reconcile their differences. The matter was before the court, and after months of hearings and adjournment, the verdict has been passed. Robert Kona, the founding president, lost, and Honorable Cabral Libi won. The court said that the May 11, 2019 Congress at Gidigis, Mayokani division of the Far North region, that elected Cabral Libi national president of the PCRN party is valid. And so, Mr. Cabral Libi is and remain the one and only national president of PCRN. The one who used his popularity to make PCRN known. Today, a rising political force, Cabral Libi expressed gratitude to God Almighty for this grace and salutes Cameroon's justice system. The victory started since last May 21, 2024, when the presiding judge of the Kaele Court of First Instance stopped the Congress organized by the former national president. And now,
et ce 5 septembre 2024 à Kaele,
this 5th September 2024, at Kaele, the judge objectively pronounced the rights in the face of rage by setting individuals against the Republic, its institutions, and its citizens. Cabral Libi, who occupied the 3rd position in the 2018 political poll in Cameroon, feels settled to begin the preparation for the upcoming elections.
Thanks very much and welcome back. The school bell is already ringing, and education for sustainable development is around bridging the gap between theory and practice, with focus on environmental and development challenges that focuses on systematics, school culture, school estate, community people's teaching, learning, and of course evaluation. MENEMO, Bilingual, College, embassy. How is this practiced? Before we wrap up.
Yes. Thank you very much again for this idea. We actually believe that education for sustainable development has given us an opportunity to prepare the leaders of tomorrow. And like I said, I saw a student coming out of the workshop. I mean, they say I'm a mayor. They say I'm a mayor. Many. So one of them said he's a police, and he wants actually to be a commissioner of police. So, if that definition has ceased in our minds, and of course, I believe in the minds of the students of embassy, to be targeting a certificate for selfish reasons. You get a job and fill your pockets, maybe get a wife, get a woman, a wife, get a wife or get a husband,
or children,
and enjoy with your family. To be one that comes back to the community, I think we're getting somewhere. The best example that we have taken in embassy, there were actually two. We went out of campus, we actually went and took pictures of gutters that were littered with bottles, plastic bottles, and these experts were teaching our students that there is material that will decompose in 1 week, there's material that will take 1 year, but plastic bottles were in the average of 1,000 years. Mr. KEDJANG, if we have to litter, if we have to throw things around, that will take 1,000 years to decay. You know, we are finished. So we took this example, and we also took the example of climate change, where you see scrambling around the world, heads of states are no more sleeping. Who caused climate change? It's human activity. It's human development. The factories, the
emissions,
the mining processes, whatever that result to these negative emissions, carbon dioxide, carbon trioxide, destroying the ozone layer, is human action. That's why with these examples in embassy, I'm trusting one of my students to come as the Secretary General of the United Nations. I believe it. You may smile.
Come on.
Because to correct a problem, it needs strong leadership. It needs convinced leadership. It needs people who are sure, first, of their training, then where they are leading us to. Our leaders have told us, time without number, that the future of this country is in the hands of the youths. Whether we like it or not, whether I and you like it or not, we are soon going to retire.
And they will take over.
And they will take over. And I want to remind us, parents, friends, whoever, life is not about waiting for the storm to be over, waiting maybe for poverty to be over, waiting for whatever to be over. We grapple with it like the eagle. Whatever is happening, we will not let it be. We will fight trouble until trouble leaves us. Poverty is a state of mind. It is not about not having money. Because when you have no idea, even if they fill your bag with money, it is nothing better than waste paper. Wealth is your head. Let's train our children. Let's give them the knowledge of physics, geography, English, French. Let's give them whatever, call the name of the subject. But above all, let them know what to do with this knowledge to better themselves. So that we, the inhabitants of this earth, the day God calls us home, we will not be regretting that God gave us an earth and we destroyed it. I think this is the take-home message, that the poor should stop thinking that he is rich because he stole money, or he is rich because he was lucky. And let the rich stop looking at the poor as if they are poor because they are lazy. It's simply, we may be poor simply because we are not where we ought to be. The churches are there to welcome us. Are we coming? We are not.
Wonderful indeed. I will leave you with this before we pack out, to say that education is the only weapon with which we can change the world. Nelson Mandela.
I agree. I agree. And this education, when we attach education to sustainable development, to it,
will change the world. We'll make the world a better place.
The world must change.
It will be a better place. From our news center in Douala, I've been KEDJANG Henri Atembe, thanking you for being there with me on Retrospective. And of course, we wish all those in the education or all education stakeholders a happy back to school 2024-25.